Yeah. Hippie soul in the building, man. What's good, yo? So like I'm back with another one, man. And on this video, guys, we're gonna talk about like your third eye beaming. Understand? Third eye beaming. So it's like, yo, your third eye beaming, your third eye blinking, your third eye like. So it's like a lot of people, right? They always say things like, yo. Like I feel like let's go back down, right? Because this is something that I've realized that like a lot of people have went to doctors, right, after having this episode, right, or this period of time whereby they experience a pounding, right, inside of their head, right? They experience this pounding inside of their head. It's like there's something pounding, like a heartbeat, but like in the middle hemisphere of your brains. Understand? So it's like a lot of people now will feel that, right, and then think something is wrong with them, right? And then they'll go to doctors. Doctors will say, okay, I can't see what's wrong with you, but this is what I'm gonna give you because you probably have anxiety, depression, whatever. And then that person ends up falling into that, that rut of like whatever that is going on when you are diagnosed with certain things. Understand? Whereas this is what happened, right? Because you have to know that when you raise your vibrations, right, or when your vibrations lower to a point whereby now you are not aware of what you are doing to your body, right, you're gonna have episodes of your third eye, your pineal gland beaming. Understand? It's like it's beating like at a higher frequency. You understand? Like it's beating heavily. You understand? So it can beat heavily or it can beam heavily because of like you being at a very low. So it's that first sign of it beaming would be that it's actually closing off. Understand? Or it's like a sign that okay, it's being calcified too much. Understand? To a point whereby it's losing its functions. Understand? So there's another way where it beams now when you raise your vibrations, right? Or when you get to a point whereby your heart, your physical heart actually beats very faster. Understand? It vibrates, it creates a rhythm that activates your pineal gland. So think of a pineal gland as like a switch. Understand? So when your frequency raises above the planetary bandwidth, right, or the planetary max, once your frequency rises above your planetary max or below your planetary mean, understand, it's gonna your pineal gland is gonna be activated. Understand? Because now you are at a frequency that activates you, that makes you more alert of certain things about life. Understand? So, or that makes you aware that you have to be alert or aware of certain things, or you have to raise your vibrations to a certain level. Understand? So it's like if your vibrations are too low, whenever you raise your vibrations even a step above, you're gonna have that third eye blink, even a step up. So where you are, when you raise your vibrations, because the reason that it can go down, like you can have third eye blinks when you are at a low, is because of now you are raising your vibrations from that low. You understand? So it's like every time you raise your vibrations, your third eye beams. You understand? And it gets to a point whereby now, if your vibrations are now at a certain frequency, right, then your third eye is gonna be wide open. It's gonna ping, it's gonna light up. Understand? And then start receiving information from higher sources. Understand? So that's how it works. You understand? So I'm gonna go deep. That's just a disclaimer of like people saying that oh, what if it's a headache, or what if it's something that is actually needs medical attention? No, it might be something that needs medical attention, right? But this is where you have to start first. Understand? So now the reason that I even came to that realization, right, is because of like I was once meditating, right, and this is not the first time I share this story. So as I was meditating, like I really felt like there was like something pounding in my head. You understand? Because as I was like, every time I meditate to raise my vibrations, right? I never meditate if I made a good vibration because I don't need to. You understand? So if I meditate. I used to meditate a lot because I used to be at a very low vibration. So every time I meditate, like I would feel that pounding, and and after that pounding, I would have like a sound in my ear, a ringing sound that's in my ear. So it's like I wanted to know what that actually means. So I got to a realization that when that happens, when your third eye starts beaming, then you are raising your vibrations. You understand? And very soon you're gonna be at a certain frequency where you're gonna look at life differently. You understand? So every time your third eye beams or blinks or pounds, every time you feel like your head is pounding in the middle, right? And it usually happens after like you put more pressure into your nervous system. Understand? It will naturally beam just to alert you. Like I say, it works to alert you to the certain senses. That's why they call it the sixth sense, because it alerts you to certain senses that these five senses can detect. You understand? So, and it's not always open or not always on or not always activated. You understand? You have to activate it possibly daily if there has to be a point whereby you have to activate it daily. But for me, it's always open because I now have a routine that I stick into that raises my vibrations to a point that I want to. If this routine is not enough, then I'm gonna go to find another one. And it's not like I find it, it's like I develop it for myself. I just see it, look at my life and see where it's moving and where it has to move. Then that's when I'm gonna do what I have to do. You understand? So it's like you have to, if you want to know that your third eye is opening or has been opened or is opening up, then you're gonna have to check on that. If you know that you've been meditating, you're gonna have a lot of episodes of that, whereby you have that pounding inside of your head, and sometimes like you can even have a headache. Understand? A small headache, like it can even vary. You understand? Sometimes it can be a little bit painful. You understand? But not to a point whereby like you can't hold on the pain. If the pain is that intense, then you probably need to see a doctor for like pains and checkups and stuff like that. But if it's like a pounding that happens now and again because of certain things, sometimes you won't be aware it's because of certain things. You might think because of, like, a lot of people will read books, right? And books will actually raise your vibrations, some of these books. So when you read this book, not having this information, and then you raise your vibrations, then you feel that pounding in your head, then you're gonna think maybe it's because you've been reading a lot, not knowing that, you probably need to stop reading for a minute so that you can actually understand that, that was what's happening actually. That your third eye was actually now opening up because of now you are reading information that makes you detect sensations that come from different frequencies. So that's a sign. Now every time you feel a pounding on your head, think about the things that you've been doing, right? Think about the routines that you've been into. You've probably been reading a lot of things, or you watched a movie that like fucking raised your vibrations. You understand? Because even movies can do that. And then after a certain, you've been thinking about it, getting ideas and whatever, and then your vibrations shift to another frequency. Then you'll feel that thing. That third eye pounding, that third eye beaming, that third eye blinking. Because that's what it do. When it blinks, right, it's like when you've opened it and then close it again. When you go to a high frequency and then drop to a low one again, that's when you blink your third eye. You understand? Because blinking and beaming is the same thing. Now when it's open, it's when you are always at a high frequency to a point whereby you can actually access information that you need to move forward or to learn things or to do anything. Then you know that you are at a high frequency, and the more you rise, the more, like, the less time you need to actually manifest whatever that you want to manifest. Understand? So like the more you raise your vibrations, the more you get out of the time frame. Understand? That we use to manifest things. If somebody works for years to manifest this, you can manifest it within a year or even a day, depending on how much you can raise your vibrations. And the more you practice that, the more you're gonna be able to be at a very, very, very high vibration, and then start manifesting things instantly like this. because you'll know what to do, when to do it, why to do it, and why not to do it. If you have not, like, if you have a reason not to do it, you understand? So like, yeah, that's all, guys. That's all. Like, or if I'm gonna add anything else, like, I'll be adding things that I don't need to, because that's all you need to know about your third eye being. You understand? Like, yeah, it has nothing to do with nothing else but just you raising your vibrations to a point whereby, like, think about it. Let me just make the last example. Think about it, like, the more you raise your vibrations, right, the more you raise your energy levels, right, to a point whereby you raise your magnetic field, right, and then when your magnetic field raises up, then your third eye will start beaming, understand, will start, like, being activated, and then you're going to receive information to the degree of the magnetic fields that you have generated, understand? So if you have been able to raise your vibrations to a level whereby you can generate magnetic fields that make you reach, like, to a certain point of the universe, then you can know information to that point of the universe. And if you increase it to a level where you can know outside of the universe and outside of the cosmos, then you're going to know that information, and you're going to have that information that it takes for you to get there physically, understand? So that's how it works. You have to work from the inside out. You don't work from the outside in, as in looking at things that are already there and try to develop it more to make it move there. No, you just raise your frequency vibration, and then you're going to develop the lightest frequencies for those actions so that they can be taken in a short period of time, or even in no time, understand? Like I'm saying, that the more you raise your vibrations, the more you go out of the time frame and into the timeless frame, understand? While you are still in this physical, because when you die, you're obviously going to go to that timeless space. But now your third eye helps you to detect messages and guides and frequencies that are at that level, so that you can know, okay, this is the information that I'm receiving, you know, and the position that it's coming from, you know, and the reasons, because you're going to know why why those things are actually pushing those information towards smaller, much more younger, smaller levels, you understand, which is us. Why we're getting, like, the knowledge that we're getting, why we're experiencing the life that we're experiencing, you understand? Because we probably come from there, wherever that we're trying to expand towards, you know, and what we're doing is actually trying to access that information whilst we are here, using this third eye frequency receiver antenna, you understand, to actually receive that information in no time, you know, how it was meant to be, you know. So, like, yeah, that's all. That's it, guys. Hippie soul in the building, man. See you on the next one. Bam, bam, bam.